All right, thank you for joining us for another ARUtility knowledge-based lesson. And in this lesson, we're going to be going over the ARUtility asset mapping process. And this process is really only pertinent if you are connecting to your Esri instance, so you can share asset information, update asset information, or perform record drawings. But let's jump right into this lesson, and hopefully you'll see just how easy it is to get started with taking advantage of your existing Esri account on ARUtility. It really is a quick and simple process. So the first step is you'll need to select the drop-down menu in the top right corner of the screen and select Account Settings. And if you don't see this menu option, just contact your ARUtility admin and they can quickly adjust your permissions to be able to make changes for your organization's account. So you'll notice this is where we ask for some basic information about your utility. But what's most important is if we scroll down, you'll see two fields that ask for your Esri service URL and Esri analysis URL. You'll need to provide both of these URLs, whether you're connecting to an ArcGIS Online account or an enterprise account. Your administrator should be able to provide these URLs, and this just tells us where we need to go to look for your assets and also where we need to go to authenticate users on the ARUtility platform. You'll also notice a drop-down that allows you to select what type of Esri instance you are connecting to, whether that is ArcGIS Online or an enterprise instance. If you're connecting to an ArcGIS Enterprise on-premise instance, you will also need to create an Esri app that we will use for authentication on your server. Once you've created the app, you simply provide the client ID and client secret for that app. All right, so once we've saved those settings, we can jump back to the menu in the top right corner and select Utility Mapping. And this will take us to the Utility Mapping page. The first thing you'll want to ensure is that you map a feature layer that contains only one polygon that covers your utility's service territory. And this is critical if you want to share assets with other users. When other users create projects, we'll actually query your service territory to verify that you have assets in the location of the project that that user created. And then we'll send you a request for information on a project-by-project basis. Mapping is as simple as selecting the feature services, feature layers, and fields from your Esri account. You can see that we've broken down assets first by category, for example, water or electric or gas. Clicking on those categories will allow you to drill down and map up specific asset types. So for example, you can see we've selected the water category. The first step is to select which feature service contains your water data, and then select the feature layer that your mains, services, valves, or whatever the case may be are located. Depending on the asset type, you may notice that we also have different fields that you can provide to accurately display assets in augmented reality at their actual depths and with their actual diameters, for example. ARUtility does field validation, so only those fields that contain the data type supported will be shown. If you do not see any fields listed for that feature layer, that means your feature layer does not have any fields with the appropriate data type. And I think there are a couple of important notes here. In order to map diameters, your diameter field must be in inches. Heights and depths must be in feet and can be either negative or positive values. We'll handle the necessary conversions on the back end. In the future, we will look at supporting variable units of measurement during the mapping process. Once you've completed your mapping, you can simply click Save at the bottom of the page and you're all ready to go. And this is a one-time setup. You should not have to change any mapping unless you create new feature layers or feature services that contain the data that you want to map. Otherwise, you can set this once and forget it. And that's all there is to getting started with connecting your Esri instance to ARUtility. Thanks for joining us for another ARUtility knowledge-based lesson.